Hello everybody, my name is Ryan. I'm here with my video series Drum Set Lessons for Kids. I wanted to talk today about something called the full stroke, or sometimes called legato stroke. There's probably other names for it, but those are the ones that I've heard. And basically the idea is, this is the stroke where you start with the beat of the stick high, you bring it down, strike the playing surface, and then the beat comes back up high, usually to where you started. Okay? Looks like this. If you don't stop the stick in between each stroke, you can keep it continuous, and it looks like this. Now, to me, this is a lot like bouncing a ball. Because you're using the rebound generated by the playing surface for all these strokes to bring the stick back up. I'm not ever bringing the stick down and then putting so much weight and force and pressure on the stick that I then have to lift it up with my own muscles. Just like when you bounce a ball, you wouldn't push it all the way down to the ground and then pick it back up. That would be silly because you can use gravity and physics and rebound to your advantage to help you get speed and give you the ability to do, more creative things. So that's the same thing that you do with a drumstick. The same idea applies. I'm throwing the stick down, and then I let the force of the rebound from the stick and the pad, or the drum or the cymbal or whatever, lift my wrist back up. Now I have to sort of kind of stay out of the way of the stick a little bit. The stick by itself is not going to bring my arm back up. So I have to kind of lift my wrist to get out of the way, but I'm never pulling the stick. I'm never hitting and then pulling it back up like this. Now you could do that, but I find that I have to really apply a lot more tension than I want to get the stick to stop before I pick it up. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to have any tension that I don't need anywhere in any of my fingers, wrist, or anywhere in my arm, or even upper body here, because that tension will inhibit the ability to play with speed. If you think about sprinters, I like to think about Olympic sprinters. Whenever they run a race and they show you the slow-mo replay, you can see just how relaxed they are, even in their face. They keep every muscle totally relaxed so that they don't have tension in their body anywhere where it's not necessary. Of course, you have to have some, muscle tension to generate some power and to generate movement, but you want to keep it at a minimum and use the rebound as much as possible. So to do this, you really have to practice just what it feels like to let the stick rebound. I would start with one stroke at a time, start with the stick up, throw it down, and then try to let it come up on its own. Now if you get out of the way of the stick entirely, it comes back up all by itself. It'll fly up off the pad or the drum. So the rebound, the force of the rebound is there. You just have to get out of the way. If I, of course, don't get out of the way, if I stay 100% relaxed, then the weight of my arm is just too much to allow the rebound to happen. So you've got to sort of just keep this still and relaxed, and then the harder you throw the stick down, the more rebound it's going to have, obviously. But then you want to just get out of the way. You don't have to pick the stick up at all. It's the same way with the traditional grip, same thing. You want to just get out of the way. And sometimes when I'm playing really full strokes, I will just get my fingers off the stick entirely and just really get out of the way. I heard Dave Weckl say, I was at a clinic talking to Dave Weckl, and he explained that when you hit hard with your left hand like that and you want to play big full strokes, you just have to let go of the stick. And if he doesn't know, who does? So the full stroke, I would say practice it one at a time, one hand at a time. You can alternate, play maybe 4 or 8 or 10 or whatever on one hand and then switch. You can play 2 hands at a time. Try to get the sticks to hit the drum or the pad at exactly the same time. Look at both of your hands and your wrists. Look at the motion of the sticks and try to make them exactly the same so that your your hands are doing the same thing. And then of course, when you play a string of notes alternating, this is the type of stroke you're using generally when you want to play really fast. Okay. And you can really only keep this up if you're relaxed, otherwise you'll burn out pretty quick. So just kind of to recap, start high, hit the drum or the pad, and then end high. That's the full stroke or the legato stroke. Stay out of the way of the stick. Just experiment, just like you would when you learn how to bounce a ball. You just have to experiment with it and learn what it feels like to let the stick kind of come up on its own without you exerting any muscle power to bring it up. And that's pretty much all there is to it, to that stroke. If you have questions, please comment, visit the Facebook page, or email me, drumsetlessonsforkids@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys next time.